Good Friday morning, everybody. We're back here at the George Street project. Just got done laying out the plants, and it's just as hot as it was yesterday. And thank God the sun is staying behind the clouds, because I think it'd even be worse. And so the guys just got done getting the flagstone buttoned up. I talked to the customer this morning. They're in love with it. And Luke and Clay just got done straightening them up for us and getting them all level where they won't rock when you walk on them. But we got, like I said, it was all low growing and shade tolerant stuff. So got some endless summer hydrangeas, some mahonia, autumn ferns. We plant a lot of those guys, and flax lilies we get a lot of, but unfortunately this time of year they're really hard to come by, especially in a 1 gallon size. And so these guys took their place, and this is what's called a carex grass, and they're similar to like a, I'm not gonna say a muley, because a muley has, I'm kind of thinking like a Miscanthus adagio. They have a wide blade, and they get, you know, yay big and yay wide. And so every fall you trim them back, as you can see where they've been trimmed back before we picked them up. And so these are going to take the place of the flax lilies, because we can't get a hold of any right now, but it gives you that extra pop of color, and so they turn out looking pretty nice. So the guys are getting going on planting that stuff, and shortly here I'm going to take a trip up to Lowe's and get some foxtail ferns. Those are the things that look like excuse me, jester hats, or at least that's what I think they look like. And those are 5 of them's going to go here, and 5 of them's going to go over there to fill in those empty spots. And this afternoon I've got to go get another trailer and load up the small machine and go get a big Japanese maple from Rick's house, and it's going to go in this semicircle right here. And so today the goal is to get the sod stripped out, the rest of the yard take care of, and then the plants in the ground. So stay tuned. Alrighty, it's the end of the day here, Friday. Plants went in here in the front today. Got some carex grass. If you had to go Lowe's, get a few foxtails. That over there, we're going to deal with that far corner Monday, because I've got to get a couple more plants. Plants went in pretty good. Got this side taken care of. Got a new Japanese maple going in. Went in today. Got the spaghetti tubing direct watering on it, because that guy's, it's a bigger root ball than the rest of it. It's just going to require a good bit more water than the rest of these 3 gallons and 1 gallons. So we've got to go back to a job on Fells Avenue that Rick's actually quoting right now. We've got to go ahead and move a couple blueberry bushes because they're pouring the driveway on Monday and they're in the way. So we're gonna go handle that this afternoon, maybe a couple other little things. So we'll check back in here on Monday. Good Monday morning, everybody. We are back on George Avenue. I'm about to strip up what's left of the yard. So we're gonna see if we can't get some topsoil brought in here today. I'd like to have this job finished up by tomorrow. Best case scenario. But the guys right now, they're working on, we gotta flip-flop the meter, because the irrigation's on the house meter now, and in the first video I told you guys about the sewer tags there. So if you put your irrigation on a separate meter, then that'll tell the city. They change it on your billing. It says irrigation sprinkler meter or whatever, so they don't charge you that sewer tax. And so to tie into it's really easy. But where we run into the problem is finding where the existing irrigation is tied into that house meter, and it could be anywhere. Normally it's pretty close to the valve boxes, but in this situation it's not. And of course both of the meters are by a huge oak tree, and so the guys are having problems finding it. And if the customer's here, I'd ask him where he thought it was, because maybe he could point us in the right direction. But this morning I was getting out of bed which was odd because I didn't know it was supposed to rain today, and sure enough there was a little bitty cell right over us, and it rained hard at my house, which is directly east of here, really, on the other side of town. So I figured surely it rained here, but it's dry as a bone, just like we left it on Friday. So good for us, because when it gets wet, the dirt and debris we're carving out gets heavy, and I can't load as much on our dump truck, so it's going to work out for us. But today I'm going to finish carving out this grass. We're going to get the topsoil brought in and grade it out, and hopefully lay sod either this afternoon or first thing in the morning. We'll have to see how it goes. But that's what I'm shooting for right now. So appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully y'all are enjoying the videos. I like making them. They're pretty cool, especially since I got the new computer. But be sure to follow and subscribe. Give me a comment. I'd like to hear from you guys if you're not enjoying it, or if you are, or what the deal is. Any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Stay tuned, guys. Finished product coming up. Alrighty guys, sand and clay just left, dumped this load of dirt out. Gonna get graded out here shortly. But here we are trying to get the irrigation swapped over to the buddy meter, which is that one. That's the house meter. And so there's a lovely river birch right here with tons of roots. So in the event where we have to swap one over, we find typically where the irrigation was hooked into the main line to the house, and normally the customer knows where they're at, or normally it's pretty obvious, or they put it right by the meter. But in this house, at this property, there's a ball valve right down in that valve box there, and it's right on the other side of this tree, and the meters are right there. So we dug on the other side of the sidewalk here, and you can see there's two pipes. There's a 1 inch and a 3/4, and we figured, well, hey, the 3/4 is probably going into the house, because we would turn that ball valve off and the water on the house stayed on via a spigot around the corner there, and then the irrigation would go off. So we knew that that ball valve controlled the irrigation. Well, being as how all the roots are over there, we thought it was a good idea to go ahead and just cut it right here, since it was easy to dig through, go around the walkway and come back around to the meter. Well, after the guys put all that hard work into moving the pipe around, and my irrigation technician specialist Dwayne handled it for us, we discovered that something wacky's going on, because when we turn that meter on, it goes absolutely nowhere, and our irrigation still works and shuts off by that ball valve. So we're hoping that when we dig in these roots right here, we're going to find another ball valve or something along the lines of that, to where we can get in front of it. Because if we can get in front of it, then we can hook it into that meter, and we know that the new meter is going to be feeding this ball valve, which feeds the irrigation. So we don't know where this 1-inch went. You know, there might have been an old system here. The house has been here a while. There might have been an old system, and it's part of that. But hopefully here in a minute we're going to find the other ball valve, or find something that indicates that the irrigation was tied into the original meter. But until then, we're still trying to figure it out, and the roots from the river birch tree here doesn't make it any better. So we'll check back in when we find something. All right, folks, we made a discovery. Our irrigation technician specialist Dwayne needs a haircut. So what we found is this is an old house, and what they used to do is they used to run copper water lines all the way to the house, and it probably still is like that. Well, we know it is, at least right here, because below that water in there is the copper pipe, and there's a fitting called a shark bite, and some of you might know what that is, but it's basically, you know, the fittings they use to tie into pegs and copper and stuff like that. But you can't glue it together, and or you either have to shark bite it or thread it, and they're both a pain in the butt. But anyways, digging some roots out, you know, and I got kind of wild with the shovel and found what we were looking for. We found we're at 90 here, and went over to that ball valve I was telling you guys just about a second ago. So we're gonna get tied in back over here. So we basically did all that for nothing, which is fine because it's Monday and it's excusable. But we're gonna get tied in there, and it should solve all of our issues. Alrighty guys, Monday afternoon update on George Street. We got sand and clay to drop us the dirt that you guys seen in the video earlier, and we got it all spread out. Got it raked in around the culvert here. Clay, he'll actually be back around here in just a second. We're spreading out what's called Miramichi Green, and it is a soil amendment that helps out with compaction and pH and stuff like that to get this zoysia off on the right foot. It's basically like an energy shot for grass along the soil. So we brought in three yards of this subsoil. It's really good stuff. It's run through a Dremel, and it's cleaned up, and they get all the debris and stuff out of it. But mostly it's got a decent amount of sand in it, and so the roots of the zoysia grass is not going to struggle too much trying to get a foothold down there. And you know, in the season we are right now, it's going to go pretty fast. So about 2 weeks from now, you're not going to be able to pull it up. It's going to be like Velcro, so the roots are going to take off pretty good. And so I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll get in the light. And that black stuff there, that's the Miramichi Green, and that's going to give the yard a head start. So we've got one pallet out. I got a bunch of help here today. I just showed up the grass about 15 minutes ago, so hopefully we'll get most of it out here in the next hour or so, but stay tuned. Okay, 8 a.m. update on George Street. We got sod laid on the right side of the yard. We're gonna start laying on the left, but I've got to go get one more pallet because somebody mismeasured. And so I've got to go get another pallet because that's all we have left out of the original 7. And so we've got a sod here. We got a sod a little bit up there in front of the left of the house. So right now, fix to get the edger fired up and get these guys cut in, so when the pine straw man shows up here with 80 bales, they can get to work on that. And then we'll be done today. Make sure all the irrigation's squared away. I got to hook the irrigation wire back up over there. It got cut during our mainline reroute debacle yesterday. But other than that, everybody showed up on time this morning, which is a good thing. Normally don't happen on Wednesdays or Tuesday, whatever day it is. And so we'll go from there. Hey everybody, we are on the finishing day of George Street. We have buttoned up just about everything. This morning when we got here, we got some landscape lighting that the customer wanted. So we're finishing up the installation process of that. And so here in a second, I will get you guys a finished video of the entire job. Everything's done. And then I've just got a few things to button up on the wiring. So here's the box for the landscape lighting. Nice stainless steel box. Shout out to Site One Landscape Supply for the lighting. And I will buzz back around here real quick to show you guys one of the uplights that we put on the trees and that we put on the house. They're the same light, they just have different angle bulbs. There's one of the bulbs for the light fixtures, and they go around and there's wires run everywhere. We had to go underneath the sidewalk a couple times, but I'm about to hook it up to the box where I get the power from, and we'll see if she works. Stay tuned, I'll get the finished product to you guys. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the progress, and I think I did a good job of getting a good bit of video for you guys. So we got the George Street project all finished up. We're loaded up, ready to go. We're gonna go grab a bite to eat, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.